Hi, Amy Weir, Round Rock ISD Board Secretary, and I'm here today to talk to you about our most recent meeting, which was this past Thursday, May 4th, and it was a budget workshop. And if you haven't watched it, I really encourage you to go back and watch it, at least the beginning part of it. I had to leave, and I did not stay for the last hour, and I have not even watched the last hour. So I can't say what happened in that last hour, but the important parts were at the beginning. Initially, we have a presentation for staff. This is incredibly important on our healthcare choices. Our healthcare has been running a deficit, but it does sound like Mr. Curran and his team and the healthcare advisors that we are working with have a plan, but there will be some changes. So please go back and watch that. If you have any questions or concerns, that's not a board issue. That's going to be Dr. Azaiz and Mr. Curran are where you should direct your questions or concerns. I know that there is a committee working on that. That includes staff members from every department. So Mr. Curran would be the one to talk to you about our healthcare options. After healthcare, there was a compensation discussion. The board was asked their opinion. Of course, you know, most of us would love to be Santa Claus and give everything. I know Dr. Azaiz has always, from the moment he interviewed, said that staff raises were one of the most important things to him. He had two things: student choices, student opportunities, and teacher raises were his two biggest things coming into Round Rock ISD. And I know that he still believes that. And I know he would really love to give as big a raise, 5, 6, 7, 8%. But when you get to Mr. Covington's presentation from May 4th, you will see the dire straits that Round Rock ISD is in. Currently, the projections from the legislature, and I'm going to have to look down and get the number. Right now, our tax rate, our maximum compressed tax rate, which we talked a little bit about during the election, but that is the rate that the state says we have to tax at. Right now, it's at 0.8046. It will be dropping to 0.7284. So it's going to drop about 8 cents. Now, we have our 5 golden pennies. Those are the ones that all the money from those pennies comes straight to Round Rock ISD. So when you go back and look at the documentation from Mr. Covington's presentation, you will see his first projections include that maximum compressed rate of 0.7284 plus our 5 golden pennies at a projection of 0.7784, which is again about 8 cents less than what we are taxing right now. But at that rate, with $90, which is what the legislature is talking about to add to the basic allotment, Round Rock ISD will be bringing in less money, and we will be sending over $70 million back in recapture in the Robin Hood plan. So even without teacher raises, we, under the current tax rate and with the $90 from the legislature, we are projecting a at least a 20 million deficit without teacher raises and staff raises. Now at 2%, our deficit would go up to 25. A 5% raise, our deficit would go up. Actually, I was in a better scenario. It is around $40 million if we were to give a 5% raise to our staff. If we were to ask the community for an extra golden penny or 3, we can go up to 8, but that would take an election in November. Even with the 3 extra pennies at $90 added to the basic allotment, we are still looking at about a $5 million deficit in order to give 5% raises. Now, if the legislature were to give the $900, which the state comptroller has said is what is needed, $900 more to the basic allotment, then we would be doing, we could give raises. It would not be a problem. We would actually, even with our recapture payment, If you look at the very last few slides that Mr. Covington presented on the M&O side of his presentation, our maintenance and operations budget, you will see that we would even, in some scenarios, be in the black. So, we do have some trustees that are down almost daily. Trustees Markham and Harrison have been down at the legislature. Trustees Zarate and Feller have been down when they can. They've definitely done much more than me. We do have some trustees that are advocating against public education. So we really need everyone to go look at this data, go back to our meeting of this past Thursday, May 4th, pull up Mr. Covington's presentation, look at the data that he is presenting, and share that with your state reps, your state senators. And if you have relatives in other parts of the state, especially if they are in small and more rural areas, everyone is going to be feeling this. Try to get as many people as you can to out there advocating for public education. We can lower taxes and we can raise the basic allotment. Round Rock ISD and other schools, especially those that give to recapture, are going to be in a very, very tight spot. And our teachers deserve better than this. Our teachers deserve more. They deserve a pay raise. There is no way that we could take a $40 million deficit budget and survive more than a couple years. We have a healthy fund balance, but it's not that healthy. It's not healthy that we can make up that amount of money year over year over year. It's going to be a tough conversation that we're going to have May 18th at our regular meeting when we talk about compensation. We have to vote on it in May, even though we haven't set the budget and even though the legislature's not done. So please go back and review. And if you have any questions or comments, you're more than welcome to send them to the board, but I encourage you to please contact your state legislators and ask family and friends to contact theirs across the state. Public education needs your support. Thank you.